If you receive Social Security by direct deposit, something has quietly changed behind the scenes in 2026. And if you don't know about it, you could end up staring at your bank account wondering why your payment hasn't arrived. This isn't a rumor. It isn't a scare tactic. It's a real shift in how the Social Security Administration handles your money, and it affects tens of millions of Americans right now. Welcome to Anderson Report, the channel where we cut through the noise and give you straight, accurate information about the money issues that actually matter to your life. Today, we're breaking down two very real changes happening with Social Security direct deposits in 2026, why they're happening, and exactly what you need to do to make sure your payments keep arriving on time, without delays, without confusion, and without falling victim to the very scams these changes are designed to stop. Let's start with the first big shift, and it's a significant one. The federal government has moved to eliminate paper Social Security checks almost entirely. Federal law has required most benefit payments to be electronic for over a decade, but 2026 is the year this push has become close to universal. As of last fall, fewer than 1% of beneficiaries, roughly under 400,000 people out of tens of millions, were still receiving a paper check in the mail. That number keeps shrinking as the Social Security Administration ramps up outreach to move everyone remaining onto electronic payments. If you're one of the people still getting a paper check, here is what you actually need to know. You have two electronic options, and both are free. The first is standard direct deposit into your checking or savings account, which is the option most people already use, and typically arrives within about 24 hours of the Social Security Administration initiating the transfer. The second option is the Direct Express card, a prepaid debit card backed by the Treasury Department designed specifically for people who don't have a traditional bank account. There's no enrollment fee, no minimum balance requirement, and no credit check involved. You can use it anywhere MasterCard is accepted for purchases, bill payments, or ATM withdrawals. If you need to enroll, you can call the Direct Express enrollment line, visit godirect.gov, or call the Social Security Administration directly to get set up. Now, it's worth being clear about something important here, because a lot of alarming headlines exaggerate this part. The government has acknowledged that a small number of people genuinely cannot use electronic payment methods due to hardship, disability, lack of access to banking, or other legitimate circumstances. For those individuals, paper checks have not been completely eliminated. So if this applies to you or someone you're caring for, you are not simply going to be cut off. But if you can make the switch, doing so sooner rather than later avoids any last-minute scramble. The second major change, and honestly the one that's causing more day-to-day frustration for people right now, involves how the Social Security Administration handles requests to change your direct deposit banking information. In the past, you could often call up and change your bank account details over the phone fairly quickly. That has changed significantly, and here's why. Fraud involving direct deposit changes has become one of the most common ways scammers steal Social Security benefits. A scammer calls pretending to be from the Social Security Administration, tricks someone into revealing personal information, and then uses that information to redirect their monthly payment into an account the scammer controls. According to recent data, roughly 70,000 phone-based claims or change requests are flagged for suspected fraud every single year. And a significant share of confirmed fraud cases are linked directly to phone calls where someone impersonated a beneficiary. Because of this, the Social Security Administration has tightened its verification requirements substantially. Phone-only changes to your banking information are being phased out or heavily restricted precisely because they carry the highest fraud risk. Instead, you're now generally required to either verify your identity through your online My Social Security account using two-factor authentication or complete the change in person at a local Social Security office. This is a real inconvenience for people who prefer to handle things over the phone, especially some retirees who aren't as comfortable with online systems, but the intention behind it is genuinely protective. These are the same kinds of safeguards most major banks already use to protect your money from unauthorized access. Here's the part that catches people off guard the most. Even when you do everything correctly and request a legitimate change to your direct deposit information, the Social Security Administration may place a temporary hold on your account while it verifies your identity and confirms the request is genuine. In some cases, this verification process can delay your payment by several days, and in certain situations, it has taken longer. If your old bank account gets closed before this verification process is complete, your payment could be paused entirely until everything is sorted out. That's exactly the scenario that leads to the panic we mentioned at the very start. Someone checks their account, the money isn't there, and they don't understand why. So what should you actually do to protect yourself and avoid these delays? First, and this is the single most useful step, set up your online My Social Security account now, before you ever need to make a change, not in the middle of an emergency. Go directly to ssa.gov to do this, and enable two-factor authentication as soon as you're in. Second, make sure your contact information, especially your phone number and email, is current with the Social Security Administration, since verification alerts and security codes get sent to whatever contact information they have on file. Third, if you ever need to update your banking details, plan ahead rather than waiting until your old account is about to close. Closing an old account before a pending change is fully processed is one of the most common ways people end up with a paused payment. Fourth, if you're not confident navigating the online system, don't be afraid to schedule an appointment at your local Social Security office instead of relying on a phone call, since phone-based changes now face far more scrutiny and restrictions than they used to. It's also worth remembering the basics of your regular payment schedule, since knowing when to expect your deposit helps you notice quickly if something is actually wrong versus just a normal processing day. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your payment typically arrives on the 2nd Wednesday. Between the 11th and the 20th, it's the 3rd Wednesday. After the 20th, it's the 4th Wednesday. Supplemental security income payments are generally issued on the 1st of each month. If you filed for benefits before May of 1997, or if you live outside the United States, or receive both SSI and Social Security, your payment usually comes on the 3rd of the month instead. And finally, if your payment genuinely doesn't show up when expected, the right first step is to contact your bank or financial institution directly, since delays are sometimes on the banking side rather than the Social Security Administration's side. Bank processing issues, federal holidays shifting a payment date, or an outdated address on file can all cause a delay that has nothing to do with fraud verification at all. If your bank confirms nothing has come through on their end, then follow up directly with the Social Security Administration to check the status of your payment and get a clear answer. Here at Anderson Report, our whole purpose is making sure you understand what's genuinely changing with your benefits, without the exaggeration and without the panic that so much content online tries to generate. These changes are real. The move to fully electronic payments and the stronger fraud protections around direct deposit changes are both happening for legitimate reasons, to protect your money from an increasingly common type of scam. But being prepared, setting up your online account today, keeping your contact information current, and understanding your payment schedule means none of this needs to catch you off guard. If this video helped you understand what's actually going on with your Social Security payments, do us a favor and follow this channel, because we'll keep bringing you clear, accurate updates on exactly this kind of thing every single week. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of your money and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one, right here on Anderson Report.